Douglas Murray just humiliated Keir Starmer as UK's worst PM ever. In the heart of London, where the whispers of politics intertwine with the legacy of royalty, a storm was brewing. The air crackled with tension as Douglas Murray, a prominent commentator known for his sharp wit and unflinching critiques, prepared to unleash his latest analysis on the political landscape. But this time, his target was not just any politician, it was Keir Starmer, the man many were now questioning as the UK's worst Prime Minister ever. The backdrop was a lavish gala held at the historic Kensington Palace, an event that attracted not only political heavyweights but also members of the royal family. As guests mingled beneath the ornate chandeliers, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Would this be a night of celebration, or would it unravel into a political spectacle? Murray stood at the corner of the room, his keen eyes scanning the crowd. He spotted Starmer across the hall, engaged in what appeared to be a strained conversation with a group of party loyalists. The Prime Minister's smile seemed forced, his body language tense. What secrets lay behind those carefully crafted smiles? As the evening progressed, Murray could feel the pulse of the room quickening. A hush fell over the crowd as the host announced the evening's keynote speaker, Douglas Murray himself. The moment he stepped onto the stage, the tension was palpable. Would he hold back, or would he strike with the force of a royal decree? Murray began by addressing the grandeur of the venue, the historical significance of Kensington Palace, a place where many royal dramas had unfolded. But the night was not about royalty, it was about leadership, accountability, and the responsibilities that came with power. With a sly smile, he turned the spotlight on Starmer. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "we find ourselves in a peculiar situation. A prime minister whose popularity is plummeting faster than the autumn leaves outside these very walls. What went wrong?" As murmurs rippled through the audience, Murray unleashed his first blow, a detailed critique of Starmer's policies, or lack thereof. He painted a vivid picture of a leader who had promised much but delivered little. The crowd leaned in, captivated by his eloquence, yet unsure of how far he would go. Starmer's tenure has been marked by indecision and controversy. He stands before us, a man adrift in a sea of political turmoil, while the country cries out for direction. But is he listening? The audience erupted in applause, yet a lingering question hung in the air: would Starmer rise to the occasion, or would he remain a pawn in a game of political chess? Just as the momentum built, Murray shifted his tone, introducing a deeply personal element. He shared a story from his childhood, one filled with admiration for the royal family and the stability they represented. He contrasted this with the current political climate, where leadership felt absent, even in the face of national crises. "Imagine," he said, his voice resonating with emotion, "a young child watching the Queen on the balcony, believing in the nobility of leadership. But where is that nobility today? Where are the leaders who inspire hope?" This moment struck a chord, drawing a collective sigh from the audience. It left them questioning not just Starmer's leadership but the very essence of what it means to lead. Just as the crowd was drawn into this emotional narrative, Murray pivoted back to Starmer, who was now visibly uncomfortable. "And yet, here stands a prime minister who, just last week, faced a devastating loss in the polls. A loss that begs the question, when will he take responsibility?" The room held its breath. Would Starmer defend himself? Would he rise to the challenge, or would he shrink back into the shadows of his own making? As Murray concluded his speech, he delivered a final, piercing statement: "In a time when the nation craves leadership, we must ask ourselves, is Keir Starmer the leader we deserve? Or are we merely spectators in a tragic play?" The applause was thunderous, but the air was thick with uncertainty. Starmer stood frozen, the weight of Murray's words pressing down on him. The question remained, how would he respond? In the days that followed, the media buzzed with speculation. Would Starmer address the criticisms head-on, or would he let them simmer in the public consciousness? And what of the royal family's response to this political turmoil? As viewers, we are left hanging, eager to discover how this political drama will unfold. Will Keir Starmer take the reins of his leadership, or will the shadows of doubt continue to loom over his premiership? The next chapter of this saga promises to be just as riveting. Stay tuned, because the royal family's news has just begun, and the next twist could change everything.